Grover Prokopi from chronicbabe.com, and this is another AWAP Wednesday. If you haven't been with us before, AWAP stands for as well as possible. And that's what I wish for you, that no matter how sick you are, that you go out there and you kick ass and take names. I know you can do it. That's why each week I come to you with my personal favorite tips and techniques for crafting an incredible life beyond illness. Now, before we do anything else, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss a video. Why do you take medicine? This is what my 9-year-old niece asked me when I recently visited my family back in Texas, and she was just so curious. Why do you decorate your pill case? Does your medicine taste bad? What's chronic illness? She was just full of questions. And most kids will be full of questions, especially by a certain age, like this 9 to 10-year-old range seems to be the time when they really start to pick up on how different people are different and how other people will recognize differences in each other. And so it's like they start to see those differences too, and they're very curious. Now, I'm not a parent, I'm not a child psychologist, I'm not an expert, except that I am a super auntie and I am an expert in having chronic illness and an expert in talking to them about it, because I've had to talk with a bunch of kids about chronic illness. So I want to give you a couple tips today. The first is, don't make it depressing. I mean, if a kid, especially a loved one, a niece or nephew, or your own children, or your best friend's kids, if they ask you questions, you may be tempted to really dive into it and tell them all the gory details. But they don't need to know that. We can keep it simple and concise and clear, and they will focus on what they need to know. If you tell them all these extra symptoms and really elaborate a lot, they're going to take that information back with them and process it and ruminate on it, and that's the stuff that's going to stick in their head. When my niece asked what I had, I simply told her I had something that made me hurt a lot and made me tired, but that it wasn't going to stop me in my life. And that's where I ended it. Now, she may have more questions later, and that's fine, but for now, that's really all she needs to know. The second thing is to really welcome their questions. So my niece asked me, what is chronic illness? And I had to explain to her that it's something that I have to deal with for the rest of my life. Now, for a little kid, it's really hard to conceptualize what the rest of your life means. So I tried to keep it simple, and I tried to say, but I do a lot of stuff, so I can still be here with you and hang out and play because I love you. And just come back to some positivity, because the idea of an entire life of illness is a lot for a little kid to wrap their arms around. I mean, it's a lot for us to wrap our arms around, right? So imagine being a little one. Ask me whatever you want, I told her, because I want her to feel like it's not this secret thing. I'm not hiding anything. It's not a bad thing. It's just a thing. So her biggest question was, why do I decorate my pill cases? And I just said, you know what? If you're going to have to take pills every day, you might as well take them out of a really beautiful object. Her only other question, at least for now, was, why do I have to take medicine? And I could have gone into all my symptoms and what each medicine does and all that other stuff, and I didn't. I just kept it really simple. I said, you know what? I have to take medicine, but it's no big deal. I have these cute pill cases, and I take it so that I can be well enough to come play with you and visit with you and hang out with Uncle Joe and my friends and do some work. So the medicine really helps me. I kept it really simple. The last piece of advice I want to give you is, don't take anything personally. Kids can sometimes say stuff accidentally that can feel very hurtful, and they don't mean it. So my littler niece, who's 3, was watching me get down on the floor to do some yoga moves, and I was on my stomach, and she said, oh yay, now I can jump on Aunt Jenny's back. And I said, oh no, please don't jump on my back. That's not gonna feel good for me, and then I won't be able to play with you later. And my older niece, who's 9, said, because you're fragile, right? Fragile? Whoa, where did that word come from? I mean, I have no idea. But that's a word that stuck in her mind. So I wanted to kind of like blow that word out of there. For like a heartbeat, it stung, because I don't want her to think of me as fragile. I want her to think of me as strong and resilient and consistent, not fragile. But she doesn't mean it. That's not what she means. So instead of focusing on being like, oh, I don't want her to have that label, instead I just said, well, actually, it's just because like no one likes you to jump on their back. That's not fun. It kind of hurts. Kept it really simple. Be real with kids. You will set the tone. Kids will follow your cues. So if you keep it light, if you keep it positive, if you keep it simple, they will come along for that ride. And when in doubt, ask their parents or other family members for suggestions or advice. You know, sometimes the parents may have already had a conversation with the kids, and so you want to know what they've said to them, and you can build on that. And other times they haven't said anything and they want to leave it up to you, but it never hurts to ask the parents what they would like, because some kids are more sensitive than others, and you want to be careful. Don't hide the reality of your experience from them. You don't have to give them every detail, but I really think it doesn't help you to pretend that you're not sick. When you show these kids in your life, these kids that you love, that you're a chronic babe, you're showing them resilience and strength and perseverance and flexibility. You're being a role model for them. You're teaching them all these qualities, and you're also teaching them tolerance and understanding and compassion for others. So you're actually being quite the role model by being a chronic babe. Be the best you that you can when you're around the kiddos in your life, and they will not care at all that you're sick. Thank you so much for watching today. Have you talked with any kids about your illness? Have you talked with their parents? I'm so curious to know how that went and what you said and what evolved from the conversation. So let me know. Join the conversation in the comments below, or head over to the blog at chronicbabe.com, where we have tons of conversation and more comments from lots of people just like you and me. And if you liked what you saw today, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss any more of my videos. And I've picked out another one for you to watch right now. I think you're gonna like it. All right, until we meet again, be a WAP. Mwah.